like to introduce myself. My name is Bronwyn Bray. I'm head of campus here at North Shropshire College, and I'm based at our Walford site. Just a quick introduction to the college. We do a range of courses here between our Walford and our Oswestry site. We cover all sorts of things, hair and beauty, motor vehicle. We do lots of sports on our main sites, and catering, childcare. And then on our Walford site, which is our specialist site, we have a working farm, we have an animal care unit, an equine unit, and large motor vehicle workshops. So this session really is going to focus a bit more on our animal care courses and qualifications. Here at Walford, we run a range of courses over our animal care programmes. So people can start at level 1, land-based studies, and that gives access and pathways onto all of our land-based qualifications. Then we run a level 2 animal care, level 3, and then we've got our new higher national diploma, which is level 4 and level 5 currently on this site. Just moving on, similar to the other presentations, a little bit about really what you need to be able to come onto the courses. All this information is on our website as well, so if you go through into our subject areas, you can get more information. If you're coming in, so you're looking at starting at level 1, this is usually because you're working towards some GCSEs, but you're predicted at getting maybe grade 2 and above, or you're already doing some sort of entry-level programs or diplomas. If you're then looking at coming in at level 2, so we're expecting at least 4 GCSEs at grade 3 and above, including English and maths, or again, successful completion with good references at level 1 on some level 1 programs. And this can come from other colleges as well, so it doesn't have to be just internal progressions. At level 3, then you'd be coming in with a minimum of 5 GCSEs at grade 4, and definitely English and maths, and preferably we would like some sciences coming in for animal management, because it's quite a science-based qualification. It's biology, a little bit biochemistry, definitely zoology and anatomy that's involved. So the more of a foundation in science that you have, the better. You don't have to have science, but it definitely helps you. And then really moving on to level 4 or 5. So we're expecting about 40% of our level 3 learners will then move up into higher education, and with us our higher national diploma. And you definitely need sort of distinctions across the board really to be looking at, or distinction merit to be moving up into the higher levels. Moving just to show really progression routes through these programs for our animal management. Again, learners can come in at entry level. On our site, we have the Foundation Learning Programme. It's a new build centre, our Collins Centre, so you can start at entry level. And again, there's some work that's completed on our animal care unit. Most of our learners will come in usually at level 2 or level 3, but again, a good proportion will start at level 1 and progress upwards. Each of the programmes at level 1 and level 2 are 1-year programmes, and then at level 3 and then 4 and 5, those are 2-year programmes. We usually expect about 40% of our level 3 learners will go on to higher education, so either with us or again a range of university positions. And then we have a good mix of learners that go out into the industry. About 50% of those will go into an animal related qualification, which really is the whole focus of the course. So the idea is to get you industry ready, ready to either go on to higher education or then sort of straight into employment and start your pathways into education or employment that way. And then just a really quick summary, very similar to all the other areas. You would attend college 3 days a week. We also expect you to come in and do some additional duties for the animal care programme. You'll study your main vocational qualification, which is the core base of everything you do. That is a mixture of theory, so about 60 to 70% of your time will be theory, And then you've got sort of a 40 or 30 to 40% will be practical on the unit. You have to do work experience. So obviously this year it's slightly different for some learners, but we would normally have a block of work experience at the end of the spring term. And then English and maths, again, it's exactly the same nationally, whereas if you haven't got a grade 4 or above, you have to continue to work towards your English and maths until you're over 19. And then we also develop lots of enrichment pathways, employability skills. We have lots of trips that we go out to do. We try and invite as many guest specialists, webinars on site, and demonstrations as well, really to sort of get you involved with the programme. And it's a huge, very, very varied, wide industry in animal care. So we try and sort of cover as much as we possibly can to give you opportunities for networking with employers and learn more about the industry and get a real feel for what you want to do when you progress. Moving on, just a very, very quick overview. We had fantastic retention and achievement rates last year. We also have very high recommendations from all of our students. They enjoy the areas and are safe, particularly with our animal units. We've got some fantastic resources. So nearly all of the students are very, very positive and want to come back and would definitely recommend us to a friend, which is fantastic for us. Little short overview then. So I think our main selling point, apart from the teaching and the learning and the support from our really highly qualified tutors, are the fantastic resources we have on site. We're on a large park. We're also surrounded by our farm. So we have a mixture of pastures. We have at least over 10 acres of woodland, so we can do a lot of environmental work. Then our animal care unit is very, very specialist. It gives a really wide range of animals, and our aim is really that you will have experience of handling, managing, working with the whole breadth of animals, really from some of our more domestic species. So we've got sort of one of our rabbits currently on the screen at the moment. We have goats and we have rhea in the paddocks. We have a mixture of hamsters and guinea pigs, which are also for health checks and basic handling. We then have a small group of alpacas who are very lovely. We've just had our third baby arrive this last week. So they're really, really good resource that, again, you'll get hands-on experience with. And then we also include some more exotic species. So it's quite unusual at this centre. We have birds of prey. So we have a falconry section. Students, particularly in the year 2 of level 3, will learn more about handling the birds and flying the birds. They can take them across the parkland and out into the woods. And then we also have our lovely group of meerkats. Again, the idea is that you get good experience for lots of different job opportunities. So whether you're going to work in small animal collections, whether you're going to be dog grooming, working in sort of more of a farming environment, or what a lot of our students want to do is sort of move into zoo or zoological collections, or then vet nursing. You also need to be quite ready to handle an unusual range of species. So we have a really, really nice set of reptiles, amphibians, rodents. So we've got a couple of our animals on site that are on the screen currently. So we've got the milk frog, we've got geckos, tarantulas, stick insects, kookaburras, a very large boa snake who's usually in a very good mood. We have a wide range of species. So again, the idea is you get comfortable being able to handle and manage and care for all of them, which is a core part of the programme. It's also why we like you to be passionate about the industry and about the animals. Welfare is something that we promote very strongly, and then that also links to being able to do duties, whether those are short duties during your normal week, or then sort of block duties where you come in for whole days and support the unit staff and the curriculum areas. Moving on, a little bit more detail then about the programmes. So with us for animal care, again, if you're starting at level 1, that's an introduction to a bit of everything. So it gets you familiar with most of the animals, gets you familiar with the site, and obviously learning, working in the industry, animal accommodation, animal husbandry. You also cover some farm livestock. So we go over to the farm on the other side where we've got the cattle and sheep. And then things like health and safety, and again, work experience. Level 1 programme is 1 year, and then very similar. So level 2 is a step up. Level 2 programme is 1 year. And with this programme, it moves more into health and welfare. Your expectation is you have a much stronger knowledge of animal biology, zoology, spread a little bit more into kennels and cattery, and again, wildlife and environmental work, and then work experience in the industry and health and safety. For level 2, and in actual fact for all of our qualifications, there are externally assessed exams that you need to do, and you will also have synaptic practical assessments. So that's us assessing you and recording how you're doing. That's core for City and Guilds across all of the programmes. So you have some external units, some internally assessed, and definitely you are assessed on your practical skills development as well. Level 3, so the level 3 courses, just moving this slightly out the way. So level 3, that's a 2-year programme. There are options to do 1 year on a much smaller level 3 programme, but majority of students will do the 2 years. This is a very wide-ranging set of programmes and units and modules that we include. They really start to introduce more about the animal nursing, the veterinary nursing, zoological collections, and you also expect at that level to really be involved with the business management, maybe becoming unit managers, supervisors. And again, it links in with ecology and conservation work, because some learners will go out and they want to work maybe with the Wildlife Trust, RSPB, and other associations. So level 3 gives a really good step up into either higher education or back out into the industry. Just moving on, similar to the other programmes where we're looking at jobs in the industry. So we've got, the industry is huge, it's constantly growing, it's constantly adapting. We have a lot of learners who will move straight into sort of technician roles, maybe even out into the farming community, livestock managers, dog groomers. There's a lot of self-employed workers in the animal care industry, and also there's a big requirement for science, research, animal nutritionists. You have sales and marketing, so you have sort of several learners that have gone out from our programs and gone into sales positions, and then you're linking, particularly at level 3 and the higher levels, into RSPCA officers, zoology, wildlife and countryside officers, and then things like kennel or cattery managers. So some students, you know, the idea is we're giving you the skills to set up your own businesses or be able to sort of develop those over time, as well as working in small animal and large animal collections, or even in zoos. Finally, just coming on to sort of the last bit, we've run a whole series of virtual open events across site. We've got a range of video summaries and videos about a unit, and again across different programs presented by all of our different tutors. These have been really, really successful, and they're still on our website. So if you want to look up, find a bit more about the centre, go onto our website, look at news and events, and that will give you more information about our virtual open events. Or you can just call us and speak directly to a tutor. Similar to the last presentation, we're now looking at taking applications, and then we'll start interviews really in January. We're expecting most of those to be remote interviews, and then hopefully moving more and more on to face-to-face interviews as we move through the year.